Good evening, lacrosse fans. Welcome to the Wayne Gretzky Complex in Brantford for this Game 1 of the 2017 Meredith Cup Junior C Ontario Championship. Mark, we got Brantford Warriors hosting Game 1 because of floor time issues in Clarington. We got Clarington, the defending 2016 Meredith Cup champions. What kind of a game are we looking at tonight, Mark?
Well, I think we're going to have a great game. First of all, I think we're going to have a fast-paced game. I think we're going to have a chippy game in the sense this is going to be playoff lacrosse here, Wayne, tonight. It's going to be really entertaining for the fans and for ourselves.
So, Mark, again, Clarington, they're going for their 5th Meredith Cup championship. Brantford here in only their 2nd season here at the Meredith Cup for their first time. Who do you give the advantage to with Brantford having home floor, but, Clarington being kind of the perennial, powerhouse, running the playoffs this year, going 6-0 to this point. Who do you tip the advantage to in Game 1?
Well, I think, on paper, you got to give it to the perennial powerhouses of Clarington Shamrocks. But having a chance of watching Brantford over the last series against Fergus, they seem to be firing on all cylinders the last couple games against Fergus. If they feel that they've got an opening, I think they're a team that's going to take it and they're going to run with it.
So, Mark, now taking a look at how each team got here, we're looking at the Clarington Shamrocks. They had a bye in the first round due to the unbalanced number of teams in the East in Junior C. So they got a bye the first round. They met up with Whitby in the second round, swept them 3-0. Met up with Peterborough in the East finals. Typically a bloodbath between those two teams. And again, Clarington sweeps them 3-0. On the other side, we have Brantford, sweeping Oakville 2-0. They come up against Six Nations, who was, I'd have to say, the favorites coming out of the West this year. And, they made short work of Six Nations, beating them 3-1. And then, as you mentioned earlier, a 5-game series against Fergus that you saw lots of action and you witnessed a lot. And, both teams different paths to get here, but each team happy to be here.
Well, you may think, sometimes you get a bye and, teams would rather play. But it seems to have worked really well for the Shamrocks. They seem to have some experience behind the bench that's gone through this kind of scenario, seem to have the players in tune with what they need to do. That showed in their 2 subsequent series in the playoffs. And you have Brantford that's probably just going to get better each and every game they play. So, maybe the lacrosse gods were looking out for both of them, saying this is the best scenario for each of you. And here we are in the Meredith Cup, and we got both teams playing their best lacrosse right now.
Mark, looking at the starting goalies tonight, we're looking at Clarington, Underwood. What can you say? He played 11 games during the regular season. Carndiff played 4 in the playoffs, so goalies split 3-3. We mentioned it, on the way in tonight. How important is it that a team can have 2 goalies that can equally back each other up and step in at a moment's notice?
Oh, great for the coaches knowing that they can put in anybody in and get solid goaltending, and the other one's got their back if anything falters. Whereas Nagy's doing the workload for Brantford, and they're probably going to hope that he just continues on with his play. But I would give the edge to Clarington in that regard as far as being able to switch it up and go with either goalie and be quite comfortable with either one going in between the pipes.
And I think that's going to be the key in the goaltending department is the depth that Clarington has. They have 2 goalies, fairly equal, can go back to each one. Brantford, with Nagy playing the majority of minutes this season, maybe don't have the confidence in their backup because he just hasn't seen enough action this year. If Nagy goes down or Nagy gets hurt or Nagy gets pulled, it really could be the momentum shifter that the Shamrocks are looking for. Mark, looking to quickly switch to our players to watch for the game. For Clarington, we're looking at Braden McGregor, number 8. We saw him last year when he played Wilmot. He destroyed the Wild, and this year again, he's a little feisty player. What more can you say about a little fire plug like this and how we can get a team going?
Oh, he's got it all except size, but you wouldn't know that by watching him play. He plays like he's 6'5". He's quick, he's fast, he's got a lot of heart, and he's got a stick that makes defenders picking up some of their equipment when he's done with them. So,
on the other hand, Mark, for our player to watch for Brantford, Ty Argent. What can we say about this guy? I think he's going to score a lot of goals in this series. He's going to be a guy to watch, and if Clarington lets him slip through, he's going to do some serious damage against the Shamrock defense.
Ty Argent playing a lot of games up with the Hamilton Junior B Bengals. had an opportunity to watch him play up against the Elora Mohawks in Junior B, and he was one of the top players on their squad on the offensive side there, so I can just only imagine how much of a force he's going to be for the Brantford Warriors here in this series.
All right, Mark, stage is set. Two teams ready to go. Warm-up's almost done. We're going to throw it back to Matt Carrick and the panel, and we're going to be back right after these messages for the opening face-off for period number 1 of the 2017 Meredith Cup Championship, coming to you from Brantford. Warriors and the Clarington Shamrocks. Clarington making their second appearance in a row, sweeping the Wilmot Wild in 2016, back here for a back-to-back attempt, and the Brantford Warriors, their first appearance ever in the Meredith Cup, looking to thwart that effort by Clarington. Mark, what are your opening thoughts on tonight's game?
A very interesting matchup here, Wayne. You got almost the perennial powerhouse of the Clarington Shamrocks up against the upstart Warriors here from Brantford. You know, Brantford really seems to be clicking of late, and we'll see what road game brings out of Clarington for today.
This is definitely your David and Goliath type of scenario, where Clarington again coming in, you know, going for their 5th junior C title. Brantford in just their 2nd year, happy to be here. They made short work of Fergus in Game 5 and Game 4 of the West Final. You know what? They're going to put on a good effort here this series in the best of 7 Ontario Championship. So we're just waiting for the opening face-off here. A bit of rough play to start. And we're underway.
Teams will definitely want to set the tone here early, all depending on whether the referees are going to let them play or call this tight. I'm really impressed with the Warriors' play up in Fergus. They were chippy, they were aggressive. There was real awesome playoff lacrosse by this club.
Brantford on the early first drive, take a shot, and he's got a goal.
Oh, what a play.
Just 15 seconds in.
We got number 32, Connor Merritt on the goal, just coming in from the left side, reaches on the far side and tucks it past Brent Underwood.
I think it caught goaltender Underwood off guard there. Broke down the left-hand side, and just he had a piece of it, just not enough to squeeze it and make the save. So we got 1-0 Brantford early on here. Clarington ball, looking to avenge that early 1-0 start by Brantford. And they got off to a great start against Fergus, Mark, in games 4 and 5 of the West Final. They got up by 4 goals, 5 goals early, and they're really a team that was able to sit back and kind of coast after getting ahead by those goals. So Clarington has to be careful.
Oh, exactly. They didn't let up. They're seem to be a team on a mission. Interesting series against Fergus. Went 5 games, but first 2 games really close. Last 3 games, not so much. And it looked like Fergus was going to walk away with that series. But Brantford came right back, and they've just been riding that tide so far.
A couple good drives there by Clarington. Trying to shot from behind the net. Picked up by Brantford. Coming hard down the floor. Mark, this is one thing we noticed about Brantford, too. They're a good hustling team. They're fast, and they're going to run it right down your throat if you let them. We got an interference call against the captain for Clarington, and it's going to be Brantford ball deep in the zone with a full 30. Both teams got to be careful here. They don't want to give the other team the opportunity to go on the power play.
Well, look for the lefties on Brantford to really make something happen. You've got Ty Argent, who's played a lot of games up in Junior B with the Bengals and has really been a force the last series against Fergus. He's really a solid player to watch.
Nagy with the pass off. It's picked off by number 7, Farquharson for Clarington. Takes a shot, and we got some stuff behind the play here, Mark, and we're going to have Brantford giving the first power play opportunity. Looks like we got a double minor to Brantford, Mark. We saw it this season. Brantford can get themselves into penalty trouble. That's really their Achilles heel. They have to stay out of the box. We saw it, when I was with the Wild this year, and we played Brantford. That Brantford, when they stay out of the box, they're a dangerous team. But it's just a matter of that discipline. And now they're down 2 men, 5-on-3, with only 2 minutes gone in the game. So not an opportunity you want to give the Shamrocks.
No, it looks like Michael Como got into something behind the play, and Ryan Dorr ahead of the play. Looks like they both got 2 minutes for holding. And yes, you're giving the Shamrocks an early chance here to get right back in the game.
You know, it's 1-0 Brantford right now, but if Clarington gets 2 power play goals here, all of a sudden momentum shifts, and you know, we talk about a whole new ball game, and all of a sudden Clarington's up 2-1. Big save by Nagy, squeezes the pads. Brantford's going to have to clear it out. Their 10-second rule. As Connor Gillies trying to bring it up, and he's checked, and Clarington on a breakaway. That's the captain, number 7, Tyler Farquharson. He waits. He has help. There's our player to watch tonight, number 8, Braden McGregor. He gets a shot, stopped by Nagy. Another stop by Nagy. He was really the difference, Mark, I think, in the Fergus series. Was Nagy as a goalie stood on his head, and Bill Wilson just, you know, he collapsed at times.
Well, Nagy looked like he was playing on his toes. He was ready. He cut down the angles. The defense was solid in front of him, and he did his job. And that's exactly what you want in playoff lacrosse. Do your job, make a couple big stops, and that can really rally a bench as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and if you have a good defensive set, and here's Clarington throwing it around off the post, full reset, going to be a full 30 here. Clarington still with the ball. Another shot. Nagy's strong early on. That's at least 10 saves already. And hasn't even shown a sign of weakness yet, and he's just going to hurl it down the floor. A little bit too far for his player, but
did a good job so far. Over a minute and a half gone in the penalty. Kind of pinched off a bit of the fast break, and even though it's a 5-on-3, they're holding guy back, so it's more of a 4-on-3 power play here at this time.
It is, and that's smart play. That's good coaching to have that 5th guy back. You don't need that 5th guy in a power play opportunity like that. You want to have a 4-on-3 and be able to get the loose balls when they come in behind. They're working it down low. They're around the top. They're going to need a shot here. Shot, no goal. Nagy somehow, I think, got a piece of that one, or it went wide. We're not sure. Saying no shot, says referee John Sutcliffe, and we're going Brantford ball. Should mention tonight's referees, John Sutcliffe and Phil Gibbons, in the box tonight, as in all final series. The 3rd referee, Kyle Coulter, he's in the box. We couldn't ask for better officiating tonight. These guys are really going to let them play and let these guys play old-time lacrosse.
A good job by Brantford killing off that 5-on-3. That's a question. They're going to draw a holding penalty here as Caleb Wiles heads to the net, drives to the net, and draws a holding penalty.
Another one. Good job by Brantford there not to retaliate and take the even-up penalty. Number 19, James Houston, going to the box for Clarington. You knew that was coming, Mark. Brantford takes 2 penalties on pretty much the first 2 minutes. You know the next penalty is going to come back to Clarington.
Especially when he's going to the net unabated. Maybe you got to take that one if they're driving to the net, but there again, you know, Caleb Wells just driving to the net and forcing a mistake out of Clarington.
So now we go from a 5-on-3 for Clarington to a 5-on-4 for Brantford. And again, another goal here by Brantford could really, there we go, an outside shot.
There's Ty Argent, number 88, our player to watch for the Brantford Warriors. Up top, good hands, accurate shot, worked the ball around, got it back up top where he had a shooting lane, and just tucks it under the left side of Underwood.
You know, what patience, Mark, by the offensive squad. They're working it around. They weren't panicking. Again, these guys are in their first Meredith Cup. They're playing with a lot of patience, a lot of composure. You know, they're really not looking like the underdogs or the team that's here for the first time, and they're really setting the tone for this game.
No, they don't know any better. They don't know that this is their first time in the Meredith Cup. They're out here to win a lacrosse game.
Right.
And that's awesome to see.
You can tell by looking at their bench right now that, the guys are pumped. They're up 2-0 early. You know, they're riding a wave. They got a really good crowd here tonight in Brantford at the Wayne Gretzky Center. And, a couple more goals, and they're going to look at, a real stronghold in the opening period of Game 1. Brantford, number 32, passes it down low. No reset, says referee Sutcliffe. And again, the ref's letting them play, which I like to see. You're going to see a little bit of bump and grind going on. Clarington, Farquharson has the ball. He's going to try the one-on-one. He's going to dish off. There's a shot. Big save by Nagy. Again, holding the fort. There was a 2-on-1, and he looked calm and composed, and Brantford's got the ball, going to bring it up the floor.
Well, I think that's kind of game style Brantford wants to play. They're going to be a little bit on the edge. They're going to push the change box. They're going to push the possession calls and see what they can get away with. And I think that bodes well for them.
Big shot there, stopped by Underwood. Picked up by Brantford. These offensive rebounds are going to be huge on either end of the floor. And this is where you need to count on your defense to. And there's another penalty coming to Clarington. Caleb Wells drawing yet another penalty. He's going to be the key focus for one of the key focuses of Clarington. And if they don't tone things down, he's going to draw penalties every single time. And he's a smart kid. He's not going to retaliate.
Well, that's his style. He's going to get under another penalty behind the play. And
I think we got a Brantford player going off.
Caleb Wells getting into the action again, too.
Referee's trying to set the tone early here, so they're going to take one aside, and John Sutcliffe sending off number 9 for Brantford.
Well, looks like Wells for Brantford and number 9 for Clarington there, Wayne. So I got Ethan Warlow in the box and Zenon Zarnowski on for off.
So we're going to play some 3-on-3 action here, Mark, for at least 2 minutes. And then we'll see Clarington go to the power play and hoping to get back into this game.
Yeah, Robillard, another key player for Brantford. He's in the box, looks like for 4 minutes. Wells, who's been an early spark plug here, and sending a couple guys in, so I think we do have some 10 minutes in there as well. You know
what? Not a bad thing at this point of the game, this point of the series, Mark, when there's going to be a lot of intensity. Here's our player to watch for Clarington, McGregor. He's got the ball up top to Brent Lace. Turnover. Brantford's going to bring it up. They're going to make a change. Clarington's going to make a change. Brantford's going to have the ball with a little bit of 3-on-3 action here.
Ty Argent with the ball up top. He's a player to watch for Brantford. They say he's scored 5 or 6 goals up against Fergus in that final game, and he was on fire.
30-second shot clock runs out. It's going to be Clarington ball. Both teams will make a change. And we're still 3-on-3 for about another minute 12. William Carnduff with the ball for the Shamrocks. He's got it down low. Lots of room for these teams to work it around on offense.
Definitely
There's Carnduff.
Time where they're going to try and get the ball, swing it across. Almost looking for the open man. But definitely some chance for their offensive guys to get the ball in their stick and make something happen.
A little bit of sloppy offense there by Clarington. Brantford's able to pick up the Lucy, bring it back down the other way. Brantford now on the offensive with a 3-on-3. Clarington back the other way. Shot. Nagy again. Equal to the task on a semi-breakaway. Brantford coming back the other way. Some end-to-end action here, Mark. These teams are going to run a bit of a marathon, I think, before this is over. It's number 17, Matt Holliday, picking it up for Clarington. Sorry, number 7. Nagy again with the stop. Proven strong early. So we are now 5-on-4 as the penalties have expired. Brantford going to the power play. There's Caleb Wells down low again. He's drawing a lot of attention tonight, Mark, and he's gonna take a beating in this series. But he's a smart player, and he's gonna persevere and let these guys take penalty after penalty against him.
Yeah, so we got Clarington's on the power play here for about another minute and a half. You see them double, tripling the ball on Ty Argent.
Interference
they're going to get
there.
a possession call out of it, so great effort by Argent.
Clarington really trying to push back here. Brantford's taking the momentum in game 1. Clarington trying to push them around and really try to take back this momentum, but Brantford on the penalty kill, able to kill this off. Shot clock there, shouldn't have been, but
turnover anyway.
Turnover anyways. Clarington back down. 1 minute left in the power play. Clarington really needing to get that first goal, break this ice with 11 minutes to go in the first period. Still 2-0 Brantford. This is game 1 of the Meredith Cup being played in the Wayne Gretzky Center in Brantford. Game 2 now set for Saturday night in Clarington, with game 3 set to go back here on Tuesday. And game 4 back in Clarington next Thursday night.
Carnduff up top on the power play, just misses the post.
Could be a breakaway here. Brantford can pick this up. He's going to get the ball, but not a breakaway. Let me clear a Brantford ball. 20 seconds left in the power play. They should be able to kill this one out. Special teams on the man short, already proving strong. Clarington picks up the loose ball. That's number 7, Farquharson.
Well, there'll be even strength guy will be coming out of the box here shortly for Brantford. And we're all even up again, Wayne. Back to some 5-on-5 lacrosse.
And there's a goal. Just an outside shot there, Mark. They kind of worked the ball around, and I think it took Nagy off guard. I don't think he was expecting the goal. We're just trying to get the goal score. I think it was number 96.
That'd be Brent Lace.
Brent Lace for Clarington gets them on the board. After all those penalties are said and done and everything kind of calmed down, kind of a nothing play. They kind of worked it around 5-on-5, and Lace just shoots it from outside.
Yeah, nice accurate shot by Brent Lace, and got still lots of time to play, but it's nice to get that first one under the belt.
And you know what, Mark? These goalies, they're big this day and age. They're top heavy. They got the big pads up top. The one thing we're going to find is the good goal scorers are going to figure them out, and it's going to shoot low, shoot low, shoot low. And I think all 3 goals so far tonight have been, low. No penalty on the clock. We're still 5-on-5, so I'm not sure what that is unless there was an injury on one of the players in the penalty box and they needed someone to serve it. Brantford back with the ball up top, coming down the left-hand side.
Tyerton with the
and
ball.
There's another goal by Brantford. They answer.
A well-placed shot by Tyerton. He's in that top right shooter spot. Uses a bit of a screen. A nice low bounce shot, which coaches just love and goalies just hate. Snuck it, looked like between the legs of Underwood. But restores a 2-goal lead for Brantford.
And that was Tyerton, our player to watch for Brantford. So we're 3-1 Warriors with 9.5 to go in period 1 of the opening game of the Meredith Cup here from Brantford.
Jordan Aki on the draw for Brantford. He's a nice transition player. Good field player as well, I might add.
He was a good acquisition for Brantford from Cambridge this year, and he's really proven to fit into that face-off mode, back on defense, kind of that that chaser line where you have a bit of your gritty guys and your face-off guys, and a bit of a brouhaha. And I think Brantford's going to go down. Referee Gibbons is going to take both guys.
I think they were going to get an original penalty call on the Brantford defender for hauling down, or a hold on the Clarington player going to the net.
And Connor Gillies and Braden McGregor are going. We want to thank JBI and Webcast Sports for their broadcast tonight and throughout the whole series, and for all the effort that Gary and his crew put in to broadcasting the sport of lacrosse across Ontario. They've really taken a stranglehold on the media platform for lacrosse in Ontario, and we appreciate their efforts here tonight and throughout the series and their dedication to bringing Meredith Cup lacrosse for the second straight year. Thank you to Gary and Matt and all the guys at JBI.
Can't say enough about them. Excellent job, and great to work with them here tonight.
Clarington looking to get that goal back. They drew within 1, going 2-1. Now they're back on the power play.
Missed the crease man down low. Loose ball. Brantford comes up with it, and they're using their speed to get the ball out of their zone. Driving to the net. Tries to nice Nice play. Oh, but excellent
Good hit.
defense.
Yeah.
Creating a loose ball, and Clarington's getting the ball back.
Yeah, good hit there. Good clean body check straight across the chest. Those open floor hits, coaches love to see.
Another turnover. Looks like we're getting a possession call here on the loose ball. Good call by referee John Sutcliffe.
He could have called a penalty on that, but I think he chose to let the players play and realized that the infraction was inadvertent. And there's Nagy going side to side, makes that stop. Clarington on a 3-on-2 here. A shot, Nagy goes wide. Clarington again working it around. Shot low, Nagy closes the wickets, keeps that stick between his legs and equal to the shot.
Zach Lysick trying to step in front, but couldn't quite get it around Nagy, who's been standing tall so far here in the first period.
John Sutcliffe waving off a high stick there. Seems the Brantford player's ducking a little bit, and that's why referee Sutcliffe shaking his head no. He's giving the ball back to Brantford. I think the same thing we saw at the other end of the floor. Sutcliffe off the post. Mark, that could have been inside of the post. I think we got to get a replay on that one. I think that one might have been in, but again, referee Sutcliffe, blocked out by the post, but
that's a couple shots they've gone on the far side of Underwood here, and they cashed it on the first one. Like you say, Wayne, that one was inches.
There we go, side to side. Nagy not able to get across that time, and Clarington crease man able to put it in. Again, low on the side to side. We're going to try and get a number for you.
They've tried that cross crease pass a couple times, and it paid off on that one, Wayne.
And you know what, Mark? I mean, with these bigger goalies, smart offenses are going to get those goalies moving. They want to get them tired. They want to get them hot. They want to get them slowing down towards the end of the game. So you're going to see a lot of the crease-to-crease plays trying to get that goalie moving, and there it paid off for the Shamrocks. And we're at 3-2 with 7 minutes to go in the first period.
A couple guys coming out of the box, and it looks like there's going to be some more offsetting with Aki for the Warriors.
And again, referee Gibbons choosing to take both guys. You know what, Mark? I can understand what we're trying to do by taking both guys, but at some point, we need to start taking one guy to get the shenanigans to stop. At some point, you want to start taking that first guy who starts it and start setting that tone that, you know what, we're not going to get both guys to go. We're going to get the first guy, and we're going to go odd play, and you'll see that stuff kind of stop as the game progresses. So Clarington we're 4-on-4 here. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Clarington with the ball. Again, low on Nagy. They've already got the book on Nagy. They're going low every time. Again, these goalies are top heavy. Brantford with the ball, bringing it out. Number 17, Ryan Dorr with the ball. He's going to wait for the line change to finish. He's got the ball back up top. Shot there, reset. Good save by Underwood. Picked up by Clarington.
Good double team by Brantford there. Almost a strip, but a good job by the Shamrock defender to break free and continue try and get the ball out of their zone.
And that's something Brantford does well. I've noticed being from the West that they're good at pressuring the ball, but they're also good at mixing up. They're not going to do a full court press every time, but when they do, they got speedy players, they got good ball handlers. They're going to get a few goals in the series by stripping the defenders and getting that odd man rush on transition. Clarington with the ball, shot on Nagy, makes a save.
Well, on that possession, Wayne, they took 15 seconds off the shot clock off of Shamrocks before they kind of let off and finished off their defensive change. Shamrocks ended up taking a shot with 2 seconds left on the clock, but had it not been for their loose ball they had after that, it would have been a turnover. So that'll be
here we're going to see, I think we're going to see 2 more penalties going. You know what? They either got to take 2 extra or send them for 10s, Mark. They really got to start to send a message. Looks like referee Gibbons may have an extra here to the bench or to the Shamrocks. I don't know. He blew his whistle in extra time there. Pointed towards the Clarington bench. Looks like...
Oh, very exciting for this town. It's great to see junior lacrosse back in Brantford. No doubt they've had a great following throughout the playoffs. Some very passionate fans, dedicated volunteers, and some of the names of the people involved are good lacrosse people that
Absolutely.
you've known throughout the years, and it's great to see them involved at this level, and it's paying off for this club.
A little bit of 3-on-3 action here. Brantford working it around. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 88.
There's Ty Argent
Ty
again.
Argent. That's got to be, 3 for him already?
You know, you give a 3-on-3 with a guy like Ty Argent, he's going to have those one-on-one opportunities. Kind of an unfortunate play there for the defender. It looked like Argent had slipped. Kind of worked out to his advantage. He ended up getting a step on the defender, got inside of him, and another bounce shot between the legs.
I think it was through the wickets of Underwood for sure. So we're looking at 4-2 now for the Warriors. Just over 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. We got an illegal draw going against Brantford. Clarington with the ball. Every time Clarington scores, Brantford's able to get that other goal and go up by a pair. That was 17, Matt Halliday for the Shamrocks breaking in. And we're looking at, what are we looking at here? Referees are going to call timeout. Do we have too many men here, Mark? Did Brantford have too many? I think that's what he's calling.
I'm going to suggest here, just kind of seeing, it looks like what the Clarington players were complaining about was maybe coming out of the box. I was just about to say, Matt, that it looked like had a few steps before the Shamrocks player came out.
Back to 3-on-3. Both guys now out of the box. We're now at 4-on-4 with minute 20 left to go in the second set of coincidental minors. And 5 minutes to go in the first period. Brantford back with the ball. A shot, another low shot, Mark. Again, far side, you mentioned it earlier.
Not a big wind-up and got out of his stick quickly and very accurate. Looks like we are going to get a bit of a goalie change. We are getting a goalie change here. We've got John Carnduff coming up.
And you know what, Mark? This could be just a bit to give Underwood a bit of a break. You know, we might see Carnduff stay in, but we might see Underwood come back in. I've seen it go both ways. I guess we'll wait and see.
Well, a smart move by the Clarington coaches just to change some things up there. And a nice first save by Carnduff, get him feeling the ball. That's sometimes just what a team needs. It's not always on the goalie, but
and looking at the regular season, Carnduff saw 4 games this year, whereas Underwood saw 11. So we definitely know that Underwood is the starter. There's a nice toss down the floor by Carnduff.
Yeah, they've had some pretty even time in the playoffs between the two goalies, and that's a benefit for any club, having 2 go-to guys in the playoffs.
You know what, Mark? When you can go, and we talked about Clarington, you know, running the gauntlet in postseason action 2017. They didn't lose a game in the East. They swept Whitby. They swept Peterborough. When you can go back and forth between your 2 goaltenders and you have confidence in both like they have tonight, I mean, that's huge.
We have Braden McGregor bringing the ball out, getting away for some pressure. Kind of an errant pass, but it went off the Brantford player, so Clarington's keeping possession here.
We're back to 5-on-5, Mark, as the second set of coincidentals have been out. This is kind of a long first period. Lots of penalties, bunch of goals, some stoppages, going over to the benches, making sure, you know what, I'd rather see the refs get it right, which they have, than get going too fast and get ahead of themselves. And Sutcliffe and Givens did a great job tonight, making sure that both teams are on page. Brantford with the ball coming down the left-hand side. That's Giles. He dumps it off. Over to 88. That's Ty Argent. He loses. There's a strip. Brantford's going to be able to keep the ball with 5 seconds to go. We're going to see them dump it in.
Burned a 30-second clock, but they're right down to the last second. Brantford was looking for an opportunity to go to the net, so Clarington can't really give them much time and space here in this game. They may burn them in the end.
William Carnduff with the ball. He's got it up top. He's going to work it around to the right-hand side for the Shamrocks. There's a good strip by the Brantford D. Clarington ball out of bounds off Clarington. We're going to be going Brantford ball. So with 2.5 to go, Mark, quite the opening period. Definitely the period that Brantford wanted to start with. Not so much for Clarington having to change their goalies. We're 5-2 for the Warriors. And if Warriors go to the broom with a 3-goal lead, they will definitely be happy. They'd love to go with 4. But we'll see what happens here. It's a low shot. Picked up by Clarington, but lost by Monroe. Picked up again by Brantford. They want to test Cardiff early. There's a shot. Big stop.
Oh, nice save by Cardiff, but rebound.
Back to Brantford.
Argent with the ball. He's up top. He's going to look to shoot. But then they get some open room. A one-on-one drive to the net.
There's crease ball. Good defensive series there by the Shamrocks.
A great slide there by Graham McCrory. Kind of recognizing that Phil had a bit of a lane to the net. He slid down, knew he wasn't going to be able to dish it off, and made sure that Argent wasn't going to get any kind of a scoring opportunity. Great play by McCrory.
So Clarington with the ball. We're back to 5-on-5 action. That's Cardiff with the ball. He dishes off. Another low shot on Nagy. He makes a stop. Just under a minute and a half to go in the first period. Brantford with the ball. They're going to bring it up. Nope, picked off by Clarington. Not a great shot there by the Shamrocks number 96. That's Brent Lace. He already has one tonight. He was taking an errant pass. Lace with the ball. Lace going to try to go one-on-one. He's going to dish down low. Back up top. Shamrocks working it around. A wide shot there from a bad angle. 30-second violation, going to be Brantford ball. 43 seconds to go in the first period. Brantford going to get the ball. They're going to get the offense on that they want. They're probably going to go for a shot here and then try to retain last possession in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, and probably very mindful not to give up the fast break going here late in the first period and giving Clarington any kind of momentum going into the dressing room.
There was a try down low. Sutcliffe again calling possession instead of a penalty. Six are getting high down here as the Shamrocks defenders are working over the Brantford offenders. 10 seconds to go. Brantford going to be happy just to run this clock out and not give up that goal. There's a wide shot there. And that'll do it for the first period, Mark. After 20 minutes of play, Brantford leads on home turf 5-2 over the visiting defending champions, the Clarington Shamrocks.
Well, great period by Brantford. They were running, they were playing their game, trying to get under the skin of the visiting Shamrocks. Shamrocks, 3-goal deficit, which is really nothing in the game of lacrosse. We'll see what they come out with in the second period with the long benches and see if they get rid of their bus legs a little bit.
All right. We're going to take a quick break here, Mark, and we'll be back in just over 10 minutes with the second period. This is game number 1 of the Meredith Cup 2017. It's 5-2 Warriors starting the second period in Brantford.
Well, great job by Cardiff coming in after a bit of a shaky start, not the type of start that Underwood would have wanted, but Cardiff came in, made a couple key stops, and hopefully settling his team down. And they start off with a possession here in the second period.
Clarington's going to want the quick goal right off the bat. We got, I believe, too many men here for Clarington. They had 6 guys on the floor. And they better be careful. Brantford on a breakaway. Big stave by Cardiff. Clarington back the other way. There's McGregor. He's dangerous when he's in alone.
Oh, almost just inches away from getting into McGregor's stick with a bit of room in front of the net, but Clarington has the ball. And there we go. Number 96 for Clarington, Brent Lace.
That's his second of the night. He got inside. Markey went short side. What did we say in the last period? Bounce shot.
Yeah, Nagy usually looks pretty solid on the short side on those, and those are the ones that you don't want to give up as a goalie, but easier said moving your feet tight up against the post than it's done sometimes for sure. You're not sliding on the pavement quite as easily as you'd like to.
So we're 5-3 with just under a minute played in the second period here in Brantford. Brantford looking to come back. Mark, they've done a really good job tonight of getting that bounce back goal when Clarington's climbed in. But here's Clarington on a breakaway. A 2-on-1 there. Big save by Nagy. Big offensive rebound. We talked about that in period number 1, how big those offensive rebounds are going to be. And that's Clarington. Riley Gerard with the ball. He stripped. And Brantford. Sam Gower bringing the ball up. He dishes off, makes a line change, makes way for the offensive squad. Brantford working around top, looking to get that 1 goal back. On the right-hand side, there's 88. There's Ty Argent. He's fighting for it. He's already got at least 3 tonight. Looking for another long shot. No shot, says referee Sutcliffe. We're going back the other way.
Carnduff doing a good job moving the ball up.
That's something we don't see a lot, Mark, in Junior C, is that the goalies are able to be a part of that transition game and make that pass. Too often the goalies are making the short pass to the defenders in their own end. There's another big save by Nagy, showing that goal didn't get to him. Brantford defense picking the ball up, heading back up the floor.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what kind of transition game both teams bring. You saw Clarington trying to stretch the floor a little bit early on, and it's paid off by getting some loose balls and some scoring opportunities.
Carndiff making a big stop. It's going to be Clarington ball.
Both teams seem to be doing fairly much wholesale changes on offense and defense still here in the second period.
Clarington working it around. Graham McCrory has the ball. He dishes off. Rowdy Gerard, low shot there on Nagy. Just went wide, but it might have gone in had it been inside the post. 30-second violation. Brantford player in the Clarington bench. Referee Gibbons right there. No harm, no foul. We're going to be going Brantford ball, no penalties. Still 5-on-5 with just under 4 minutes played in period number 2. 5-3 Brantford. Bit of miscommunication there on offense. Able to pick up the ball. That's number 8, Caleb Wells. Again, he's already seen that he's going to be drawing some penalties in this series. Big stop
Carnduff,
there by
what a save. Off that rebound down, we got up awfully quick. Excellent effort by Carnduff and paid off with a big save.
And that's the goaltending Clarington's going to be looking for to get themselves back in this game. Brantford working the ball around up top. Long outside shot. Another save by Carnduff, I believe, but not called a reset by the officials. Oh, we could see a 5 here, Mark. We could see something more. That was just a dangerous, dangerous play.
No, I don't like seeing that by the boards.
Not at all.
Brantford player quickly stepping in and defending his player. But Caleb Wells, fortunately, good to see him jump up fairly quick.
Yep.
Which is good to see because it could be a lot worse news than that.
And I think we're going to see an ejection here of the Clarington player, Mark. He's definitely being escorted off the floor. That's going to be at least a 5 for check from behind and a game misconduct. Could be more, but we'll wait and see.
But experienced team. I'm sure they will weather the storm here. They'll probably have some short-handed plays that they can draw to and try and chip away at this lead.
There was McGregor with a quick outside shot. I think he was trying to catch Nagy asleep, but Nagy, equal to the task, shuffles it aside. Brantford back down the other way. And able to recover. And there's a shot.
Nice save by Carnduff again. Wells point blank out front, but Carnduff showing a lot of agility and a lot of quickness between the pipes for Clarington.
Mark, he's come in and he's played 15 solid minutes without letting a goal in. He's definitely the answer to what the Clarington Shamrocks were ailing in the first period. You know, just trying to hold the fort and weather this storm. Is going to be a 5-minute power play coming up. That'll be the true test of this second period so far, is the 5-minute power play. There's Carnduff again holding the fort. Brantford looking to pick up that ball with 12 seconds on the shot clock. There's Wells. He's like a little pinball down there. He's going to bounce back wherever they throw at him. They got a full 30. That's Hunter Agus with the ball up top. He dishes off. Picked up by Argent. He's bobbing and weaving. Back up top to Robillard.
Looks like we had a minor interference call. A moving pick by the Brantford Warriors creates a turnover for the Shamrocks as they bring it up. And they will be short in about 5 seconds here.
And there's McGregor with the ball. And they're just going to work this around, make sure they retain possession. They got a 5-minute penalty to kill. We're now 5-on-4. And with no shot clock in Junior C, these Shamrocks can eat as much time on the clock as they can. Brantford going to try and get that ball to get back on offense. They can score 2 goals on a 5-minute power play. Clarington still with the ball, just trying to kill it off. Some stuff going on behind the net in front of us here, Mark. Referee's not looking at it.
That was a good rag by Clarington, but looks like, possession call.
That could have been another check from behind, Mark, but referee Sutcliffe deciding to go with the possession call.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the ball just trickled out of his stick, and that's why he got a possession call. But definitely any shot from behind is subject to a 4-minute or a 5, as we've seen. So,
and you know what, Mark? That call's all about preserving, player safety and preventing injury. So, the refs got to make sure they're on top of those. And they let too many of those go, this thing can get out of control. But so far, so good. Referees Gibbons and Sutcliffe keeping control, letting the guys play the game. Clarington with the ball, now bringing the ball up, trying to get back in this, but also kill off that 5-minute power play.
A good check by Arjun there, swinging the stick across and created a loose ball, and Brantford has the ball going back the other way. Another offensive opportunity. Lots of time on their power play here. Over 3.5 minutes left in this 5-minute major.
Brantford just looking to get set up. 15 seconds already gone on the shot clock. Looking to work it around. Over to Robillard. Shot down low by Wells. Picked up in behind. There's Argent. Crossover. Not sure if that hit the goalie or not.
I think it got him in the...
I thought it got him on the knob of the stick, but here we go. Clarington back up the other way. And I believe that is McGregor. Nope.
It's Zenon Gazardatsky with that ball.
Not a wise shot there. Picked up by Brantford. Another...
a possession call by Sutcliffe.
Possession call by Sutcliffe. Brantford bench not happy. They're realizing that's a couple check from behinds that have been gone possession calls. And they're not happy with referee Sutcliffe, but game on, says referee Sutcliffe. Big save.
Yeah, good look by Carn up there. It seems if he gets a good look at the ball, you're going to have a tough time scoring against him.
He moves really well, Mark. He's kind of all over the net. He's a good mobile goalie. He's got a good arm on him. He's really done a good job coming in and stabilizing this Clarington team. I'm not sure what that was, whether it was too many men or what, but it's a turnover. Clarington's got the ball. And with just over 2 minutes to go in the 5-minute power play, then a good job so far, killing off almost 3 minutes. Not giving Brantford much of an opportunity on offense.
Clarington killing off over 3 minutes of this major power play for Brantford, and maybe trying to draw a penalty of their own and even things up here.
And that's typically what happens, Mark. One team killing the penalty, the other team draws a penalty because they start getting frustrated, start taking some whacks, some holds. Clarington doing a good job here of just eating the clock.
McCrory with another good rag, but could have been a check from behind there as well by Brantford. Sutcliffe saying a possession call.
And we're remaining Clarington ball, so both benches not happy here, but play on. Minor interference against Brantford, still going to be Clarington ball. Clarington player able to eke out of 2 checks there. That's Graham McCrory. He's got the ball. He's down. He's still got the ball.
Well, Brantford gets it loose. Picks up the loose ball, and they're able to move it up. Got a good minute left on this power play. Yeah, they're going to see if they can try and solve this Carnduff story that the Shamrocks have thrown at them.
It's you know what, the game started off with a lot of goals in the first half of the first period, and it's kind of settled down. We haven't seen all but 1 goal here in the second period so far, Mark, by the Shamrocks. With just under 10 minutes now to go in the second frame, we're halfway through. We've only had 1 goal scored in this second period. Clarington trying to kill off the last 35 seconds. They've done it. They've drawn a penalty. And it looks like we're going to have a second penalty here. And again, Mark, we talked about it earlier where this is Brantford's Achilles heel. And, you know, they have the advantage. And it looks like we're going to have 2 Brantford players at least going to the box.
The slash on Argent, and yeah, we're gonna have some 4-on-4 here or 4-on-3 for about 30 seconds before another player comes out for Clarington and makes it a 5-on-3.
Clarington working around there. He tucks it in behind. That's number 18, Zach Lisk. For the Shamrocks, we got a 1-goal game. So one of the penalized players, Mark, coming off the bench or coming out of the penalty box. We're going to be 4-on-4 for about 16 seconds. And then Clarington going back to the power play. 5-4 now for the Brantford Warriors. Clarington drawing 2 within 1. We are 9 minutes to go in the second period. This is game 1 of the 2017 Meredith Cup, coming to you from Brantford, the Wayne Gretzky Center.
Well, this is exactly what Clarington was hoping for. Some good goaltending and defense to shut down the momentum that Brantford had and then chip away with a couple goals here and there. Now it's a 1-goal game about halfway through the second period.
So here comes the extra attacker for Clarington. So we're now 5-on-4 for about a minute and a half. Another goal here by the Shamrocks would be huge. Brantford looking to kill this off, possibly get one of their own. No 30-second clock. So they can just eat some time as Clarington did on the 5-minute penalty. That ball, Sutcliffe says, went off the Clarington player and back over. So it's no back over. So Brantford's going to get the ball and come back in on the offensive zone.
So Cole Robillard, who's a big, strong player, trying to rag the ball and kill some time off for Brantford Warriors down in the corner. Maybe trying to draw a penalty of his own here.
Looks like some low checks going on there, Mark, but referee Gibbons right on top of things. He's got things well under control there. The ball is loose, I believe. It's hard to see from this angle, but again, Brantford doing a good job of killing off the remaining seconds of their man short. Under 30 seconds to go. Referee Sutcliffe calling a fraction against the Shamrocks. Going to be Brantford ball with just over 20 seconds to go. Still 5-on-4 for the Shamrocks, who have crept to back in within 1 goal.
Both teams still pushing the limits a little bit, jockeying for a little bit of that almost intimidation factor, or get under the skin of the other team. This is playoff lacrosse, Wayne.
Clarington bringing the ball up. Some stuff going on behind the play still, but letting them play. Nagy, big sidestep to his right, makes a save, but he's going to get the ball out. It's going to be a good transition here, just like Carnduff. Nagy able to move that ball and get his team out of his zone quick. There's a shot. Carnduff with the save. I believe they called it a shot. I saw referee Sutcliffe call for a reset, but
great goaltending by both clubs here so far in the second period. Nice save by Nagy.
Looks like both teams have the right goaltenders in tonight. As we mentioned earlier in the first period, about halfway through, Underwood getting the hook from the Clarington staff, and Carnduff going in, and he's been flawless to this point. And here, Mark, we may see an ejection on the Brantford player, just as we saw against Clarington. That's number 22 for Brantford.
Isaac Salazzo
played goaltender up till this year. He has received a 5-minute check from behind penalty and a game misconduct. We're going to have a 5-minute advantage here for the Shamrocks. And they can score 2 on the power play. And here we go. And you bet this is the scenario that Shamrocks were looking for. To climb back into this, being down 5-2 after 1. They've scored the only 2 goals. That looked like it was going in, but it touched the side of the net. Brantford's picked the ball up. McGregor checking down low. And there's an interference by Nagy on McGregor. And there it is. Clarington's tied it up.
You know, what a play by the Shamrocks there. Nagy trying to get the ball loose, but gave the possession right back to Clarington.
Yep. And made it a 5-5 game, and referee Gibbons has now ejected a fan from the game. And we will not start till said fan is removed. You know what? Leave the stuff in the stands for the parking lot after with a couple brews. So, anyways, we've got that fan ejected, and we're game on.
Yeah, brand new game here, Wayne. 5-5. 6 minutes to go in the second period. And Clarington still on a good 4.5 minutes left in their power play.
You know, Mark, following the scores over the regular season, Clarington's done this a few times. They're getting down early against the Whitbys, against the Peterboroughs in the regular season, and you know what? They're able to storm back, low-scoring games, and but able to storm back. They don't let adversity get to them. They have a great coaching staff who's been to the dance a couple times, and you know, Clarington is really showing their maturity, their composure. And Brantford on a breakaway, and they finally solve Cardiff.
I'll give them credit. They have 3 unanswered goals here, shorthanded, and they're still driving to the net and trying to make things happen.
So that was a shorthanded marker by the Warriors.
A big goal for them. Still just under 4 minutes left in the power play for the Shamrocks. If Aki can get the possession here, and they can burn off some key seconds off of that and swing that momentum back into their favor.
Clarington looking to get that momentum back, still on a 5-minute power play with just under about 3.5 to go. You know, they can still score 2 goals and take the lead back, but Nagy's going to have something to say about that. Shamrocks working it around the top. Ball's up top. As the shot doesn't make it through.
Argent blocking the ball, and
Beautiful.
He's away. He gets a step on the defender. Nice behind the back. Almost fooled Cardiff. A quick stick by Argent, but couldn't tuck it home.
And that's the one thing we noticed with Brantford in the regular season and through the playoffs as well, is, you know, whether they're on the 5-on-5, big save by Nagy.
Oh, great passing play by Braden McGregor.
Whether Brantford's on the power play, we're even up, or they're on the man short, they're still going hard to the net every single time, and that's where that shorthanded marker came from. Clarington with 2.5 to go in the power play, working it around. They're looking to get at least 1 here on the power play. 13 on the shot clock. There's a shot off the left toe of Nagy. Picked up again by Clarington.
Yeah, full reset here
Full
for Clarington. Wear that defense down, see if they can wear Nagy and get him moving.
There's a shot.
Oh, there we go, number 17, rolling across the top.
It's Matt Holliday.
Matt Holliday.
You see what he did there, Mark? He looked off the low defender on the far side. I think he had Nagy thinking he was going past it. He just tucked it over the right shoulder. If you can say, for a 6'6" goaltender that went over his shoulder, it was in the top right corner. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, well placed. Nagy started taking a step to his left. And Holliday just going right back to his right and tucking it in inside the top corner. Player still serves a full 5 here, don't they?
Not in this case, Mark, because the player who did the infraction was ejected from the game.
Right.
The player only has to serve the amount of time during the goals. if it was the player who committed the infraction himself, then he would have had to sit the 5 even though the penalty's expired. Brantford on a quick transition here, looking to get this back like they have done so many times tonight. Clarington with the ball, looking to take their first lead of the game. Argent, he picks it up. What great hands he has.
A great job by Ryan Dorr closing off that gap on that loose ball, giving Brantford a chance to get it back. Great heads up play by him, and Brantford's rewarded with that with a possession here.
Brantford behind the net, 15 to go on the shot clock. Looks like we have the net's off, but is there going to be an infraction here, or are we just going to go, it looks like we're going Brantford ball, full reset. Must have been one of the Clarington guys who knocked it off. So we're going to have a full 30, and Brantford's going to have a full possession with 3:21 to go in the second frame. We'll see if Carndiff is able to bounce back after his first goal at about the halfway mark of the second period. Clarington's really seemed to kind of slow things down here, marking controlled the game since that being down 5-2 early in the first period. They made their goalie change and the momentum's kind of switched.
There we go. They've got their first lead of the game.
That's Zach Lisk again. I think that's his second tonight.
We had Zenon Zarnowski passing it across, finding the open man.
We got a whole new ball game now. We mentioned earlier, Mark, in the previous few games by Brantford against Fergus, they're getting up by 4 or 5 goals, and they're able to ride the momentum. We'll see how they're going to do now being down, by a goal. Here's McGregor. Big save by Nagy.
Nice quick stick by McGregor, but Nagy getting beat by taking a step to the left there and then them coming back to his right. I think he made the adjustment on that save. Nice play by Nagy. Robillard with the ball, passing it over to the left side for Brantford. Shot wide, and it looks like a race for the loose ball here. Clarington picks up the ball. A good scoring opportunity there.
Looks like he was checked just at the last minute to force that shot wide.
Just throw him off a little bit.
Looks like the ball is going to be picked up by Clarington with a full 30. I think they got fortunate on that reset. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Clarington still trying to get it out of their own zone. Good press by Brantford. We mentioned this earlier. They're a fast team, and they're going to be able to pin a team in their zone. And here, Clarington is still trying to get into the offensive zone, get something going, but the Brantford defense just stifling on this possession. Going to have a turnover. Carndiff going to pick it up. Not able to get it down the floor. Almost gives it away. Referee Gibbons forcing him out into the corner. A lucky break there for the Shamrocks as there was 3 guys for Brantford in the offensive zone. Here comes a breakaway.
Fast break. It's like Farquharson just missing the post.
Looks like things have really swung in Clarington's way here, Mark. The bounces are going their way. They're getting some fast breaks. We talked about the transition game of who was going to be able to do this better in the second period, and Clarington has definitely, outscored Brantford and outplayed them as well.
Yeah, big second period by Clarington here, outscoring Brantford 5-1 and putting on the pressure here. Good opportunity there. Looked like Lysick was open in front of the net again.
Wells gets the ball
Holiday.
up. Brantford coming down, and this is the disadvantage, Mark, in the second period is teams often get caught on a transition trying to get those offensive players off the floor and the defensive players on. Almost paid off for Brantford, who had a fast break there, odd man rush. But as we mentioned, Carndiff standing his ground.
Well, it looks like Brantford's going to get a chance to tie up the game here with 49 seconds left in the second period. Holding call against Clarington.
So this is where we'll see possibly a team take their time out, get it down under 30 seconds. With 2 timeouts each within the game. We'll see what Brantford does here. Probably looking for a quick shot.
Looks like they're trying to take Argent out of the play by popping their guy defender out just a little bit more than usual. I think they've made some good adjustments here in the intermission.
Turnover by Brantford. Clarington on a fast break. He's going to pull it out.
Good job
They
by
might go
Farquharson.
for one shot. 20 seconds to go in the second period. Is he going to kill it out? Is he going to try and get a shot? He wants to draw a penalty is what he wants to do. Good hard pick there by Clarington.
He's got the drive to the net. Nice shot. Oh. Nagy got 5 seconds left. Brantford's trying to move it down quick to Argent. Passing it out in front.
That's Wells. What's he going to do with it? Just can't get a shot off in time. No shot. And quite a turn of momentum, Mark, here as after 2 periods, Clarington has climbed back in and climbed back over the Brantford Warriors to take a 7-6 lead after 40 minutes. All right, welcome back for period number 3. This has been definitely a barn burner. It's been a long affair thus far, Mark. Lots of stoppages, lots of goals, lots of penalties. We've had a little bit of everything in here. Playoff lacrosse, to say the least. Clarington up in front, 7-6 after trailing most of the first 2 periods. Able to climb back in, outscore Brantford 5-1 in the second frame to take a 7-6 lead after 2. And Clarington going to be going to the box first in this period.
On that and giving Brantford an opportunity to get back into this game, tie it up.
Not how the Clarington bench drew it up during the second intermission. But we've seen them weather the storm. Here they are with the inverted triangle. Being down 5-on-3, Brantford not dropping that 5th man back there. There's Cardiff, the huge butterfly.
He's getting any body part covering any of that mesh that he can. And there we go. Wells with his second opportunity from point blank. Tucks it in.
Yep, definitely 7-7. That was a 5-on-3 goal to even it up at 7-7, just under 1 minute played in the third period. With a minute and a half still to go in the power play, Brantford looking to get the go-ahead goal, get themselves back on top where they sat for most of the first 2 periods.
It's like a withholding call there on Clarington is going to give the ball back to Brantford. Is they're going to come back and try and set this up on a 5-on-4 power play and maybe take the lead here again, Wayne.
You know what, we saw it from Brantford, and I believe it was game 2 of the Western Conference Final where they were down. It was a come-from-behind win, so we've seen them able to, weather a little bit of adversity and come back. Cardiff able to make the stop there and breaking the ball up the right-hand side is Clarington. Going to look to kill this out and hopefully get back to even strength. Again, Mark, in junior lacrosse, there's no 30-second shot clock, so Clarington able to just kill off as much time as they can using what we call the rag rule.
Yeah, Arjun and Robillard couldn't hold him up against, and Farquharson going to the net.
Big save off the pipe or off of Nagy, out of bounds. Still going to be Clarington ball. 30 seconds to go in the power play. These Clarington guys are slippery, Mark. They're sliding through 2 and 3 checks at a time. Brantford able to pick up the loose ball, and they're going to break it out.
And there's Braden McGregor trying to drive that. They do a good job of containing McGregor here this game. He's had a couple chances, but not point blank scoring opportunities like Clarington would like to see him get.
And that's what we're finding from both teams is that when they key on their top offensive guys, the other players are able to pick up the slack and put the ball in the net. So both teams have good depth on offense. Both defenses proving strong. There's some good checking by Brantford. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. Clarington, big save by Nagy. Clarington gets the rebound. And they're going to do a whole-scale change. Both teams are. Get some fresh legs on there after the expired power play.
There's William Carndale for the ball, passing it off. Trying to create some space, setting a pick.
Big save by Nagy. Almost trickles in. Still doesn't know where it is. We can see it from here. Good thing he didn't move like he did on one of the previous goals in period number 2 and kick the ball in his own net. His defender able to scoop in behind him and pick it up. Brantford with the ball now in the offensive zone.
Back to some 5-on-5 lacrosse here. It's been quite the special teams affair for most of the game. Looks like a bounce here for Clarington, but driving to the net on the wrong side of the floor. It still goes to the net. Big save by Nagy, and Brantford bringing the ball back.
Brantford throwing it all the way back. Kind of a miscommunique there. Going to be Nagy who's going to end up with the ball, and he's going to have some pressure. He's got to get the ball up.
We still got some time, 10 seconds left. They're probably just going to look for a reset here.
Look to get a shot on net. No way, says the Clarington defense. And we're going to have a 30-second violation here. So with 4 minutes gone now in the third period, we're tied at sevens. This is game one of the Meredith Cup 2017. Coming to you from Brantford in the Wayne Gretzky Center. Mark, we talked about the history of lacrosse in Brantford. We can't forget to mention the great one himself, playing the game growing up in Brantford. We talk about lacrosse and how, it's a diverse sport, and a lot of hockey players are saying and speaking out now to play lacrosse. Wayne Gretzky, definitely one of those guys. This arena aptly named after the great one, and, good to see the sport being revived in his hometown.
Yeah, it's a great job, and a great facility here. We got Brantford poking it in past Cardiff, only the third time past Cardiff here after he's relieved Underwood, and we've got an 8-7 game here for Brantford.
And that's, I believe, goal number 4 for Argent.
They've done a good job containing him since the first period, where they gave him some room, and he had some time and capitalized on his scoring opportunities. But they did a good job up until now. But he's somebody you constantly are going to have to watch.
And kudos to the Brantford bench. They've gritted all year. They've had great coaching. For them to come back, get back into this, get the league back, it says a lot for the effort that this team's putting forth and the run that they're on right now, right from the Western Conference right on through to now. So Brantford now looking to get up by a pair here. Tries to go stick side on Cardiff. Ball's down in the Brantford end with 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. They're going to need a quick shot here.
Off the crossbar.
Wasn't far off there from being a 2-goal bulge for the Warriors, but Clarington has the ball coming back the other way. Goalposts are a goalie's best friend, as they say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's all Cardiff says. That's all he gave him to shoot at. So
as Clarington takes a shot, goes off the Brantford player. He takes exception to that. Turns around. The referees pretty much have their whistles in their pocket for this third period. Going to try to let these guys sort things out on their own and play some lacrosse. And we do have a penalty coming up against Brantford, so Clarington will be going back to the penalty, and it looks like another double minor for Brantford.
I think a high stick and a trip.
For number
perhaps
7.
Or maybe a rough.
So it's going to be a 4-minute power play. Tyler Farquharson going to the box for Brantford. Not an ideal time.
Looks like Tristan Lovell there for Branton. Taking the 4 minutes. We only have 2 up on the board, but I thought Sutcliffe called 2 double minors there on that play, Wayne.
He did. He did definitely call 4 minutes, so we'll have to get that sorted out. He did stop the play as well when Clarington had the ball. So that happens usually when there's a 4-minute penalty called. So we will get things sorted out here. Brantford, regardless, looking to kill off the penalty time. Stripped there by Clarington. Down the far side. Big save by Nagy.
A good job by Gillis, brought it over for Brantford, but good check by Clarington. They got the ball turned over. It's good end-to-end, good running action here in the third period, Wayne.
Brantford right down the pipe. There's no goal, says John Sutcliffe. Referee. Going to be green ball. Inadvertent contact there as the Brantford player just trying to get off the floor. Didn't see the Clarington player. They both go down, a little jarring for the crowd.
Yep.
Clarington with the ball, a little hidden ball trick there. Didn't work as Nagy knew exactly where it was. Clarington, ball down low. Shot on Nagy. It's in.
Good. There we
That's
go.
another one Nagy would like back. You know what they're really showing with the hometown crowd, getting behind them, getting on the visiting team. Here comes McGregor right off the face-off.
Big save by Nagy.
Big save by Nagy. Oh, a little bit of footsteps there by Argent. Clarington picking up the ball. With 13 minutes to go in period number 3, we're tied at 8. This is game 1 of the Meredith Cup, coming to you from Brantford in the Wayne Gretzky Center. Clarington Shamrocks have the ball, working it around top. Still working it around. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Quick low shot there. Nagy makes the stop. Turnover. Brantford picks it up. They're coming down. Going to be an odd man rush. Argent takes a shot. Wells dipsy doodling through the crease.
There's Argent, even from the wrong side of the floor at a bad angle, makes it look like
Absolutely.
It's a high percentage scoring opportunity.
Cardiff knows too that he was almost beat there, and he's thanking his lucky stars that Argent didn't have one extra step here. Good defense there by Brantford, able to hold off the Clarington attack and turnover, and they're going to come back up the floor looking to get the league back. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Brantford still has possession.
Try to come up with a late change here and drive the ball to the net. Good reset opportunity there, good scoring opportunity. And Brantford comes up with the ball again with a full 30.
Cardiff making himself really big on these shots, Mark. He's really just kind of spreading out, taking up as much in the net as he can. And again, he came in halfway through the first period, and he's only allowed 3 goals. We're going to have a holding call against Clarington, and maybe more. Depends what Wells does. He may draw another, or he may take one himself if he's not careful.
Looks like Zanoski's going to get a hold. Caleb Wells once again in the middle of that. Top teams playing hard-nosed lacrosse. Somebody's coming out with a W and somebody's coming down out with an L. But
beautiful pick and roll, Mark. What a nice seal.
Brantford saying that we're going to win our first game here at home. They're doing everything they can. Even after that second period where Clarington really dominated little bit by little bit, picking away and coming up with that big period, and Brantford just regrouped here in the third.
You know what, Mark? A win tonight by Brantford would be the first game that the West Division has won in the Meredith Cup in over 3 years. So last year the Wild were swept. The year before that, Six Nations was swept by Peterborough. So this is a big game not only for Brantford but for the Western Conference to kind of get themselves back into the talk about who's reigning supreme in Junior C lacrosse. And here's Brantford again. Another shot.
Ty Argent again. He picked that ball up and shot it on the net all in one motion there. So he didn't have a lot of time or room, and he made the most of that. I think that's Argent's 5th goal of the game.
That's got to be 5 or 6 for him. Probably 5 at least. 10-8 Brantford. A quick turn of events there. We went from 8-8, 2 goals in under 30 seconds, I'd say, Mark.
Yeah,
Brantford the 10-8 lead with just over 10 minutes to go in the third period.
Shamrocks, no, that's still lots of time of lacrosse here. It seems to be that Brantford's been going the way of the Argent tonight, and when Argent's been getting the touches and the looks, the whole team's been playing at an A caliber. But when Clarington goes and takes away some of that time and space from Argent, they're able to then start dominating some of the plays. So kudos both coaching staffs, probably making plenty of adjustments on the bench.
A good face-off win there by Jordan Aki. Get the ball back for the Warriors. Looking to take a 3-goal lead on the Shamrocks. Just a bit outside there. Didn't miss by much. Brantford just all over Clarington right now. And again, showing that a one-handed shot. Some mucking going on behind the bench. And we're going to have, I believe, a check from behind penalty, Mark. Another shot right to the back of the numbers.
Yeah, Scott Edwards going to the box. So referee Sutcliffe sorting things out over at the box. Another player for Clarington having to serve for Scott Edwards. Looks like that's number 88, Ethan Warlow, who's getting those honors again.
So just a note, Mark, Saturday's game is a 7 o'clock start in Clarington. And originally we'd posted on our Facebook page and Twitter that we'd have a game 2 on Friday night. That game has been moved to Saturday due to the fact that Brantford couldn't get hotels on Friday night. So we're going to go game 1 tonight, game 2 Saturday, game 3 on Tuesday, game 4 on Thursday.
Yeah, a little bit of lacrosse going on in the Durham region this weekend with the provincial starting.
Just
and
a little
some
bit,
junior
Just a little
C
bit.
lacrosse. So take a weekend off of your gardening and your housework and spend a day at the rinks.
I think there'll be about 25 rinks in action at certain points of the week next week, Mark, in the Durham region, as that's one of the world's largest sporting festivals going on with thousands of participants down in Whitby and surrounding areas, based out of Iroquois Park. Clarington here just trying to kill this off, trying to get through this 5 minutes, maybe get a goal. They're happy to kill it off. Brantford happy to let them kill it off. Lots of mucking around going on in front. Clarington's going to have to make a move here.
Being here at a game like this and talking about the provincials, Wayne, just kind of reminds you of how this sport operates. And we got to tip our hats off to the many volunteers that sacrifice their time and many hours in the summertime to help grow and keep this sport organized and running along. So that festival, like you said, one of the biggest sporting events in Ontario and Canada. Hats off to Ron McSpadgen of the OLA and I mean, all the countless volunteers that work to make that event happen.
Brantford back on the power play. Big save by Cardiff, either him or the post. Either way, he keeps it out. Brantford working it around, had a full 30. You got to figure another goal here by Brantford is going to make it very, very tough for Clarington to come back. There's Wells, big save by Cardiff. Picked up again by Brantford. A little too far for Robillard. He's got it now. Working it around. Big save.
Like another reset by Brantford.
Another offensive reset.
Moving it around, wearing down the defense, trying to get that 3-goal lead.
Shot wide, picked up by the Shamrocks, and they're going to bring it out. Big check there, picked up by Brantford. Oh, no goal, says referee Givens.
Freeze play. They better not celebrate too much here. They blow the ball in. Cardiff getting the referee's timeout here to do some equipment repair, but
yep. Clarington bringing it up, still a man short. They're on the man short for still 2 minutes to go.
I'm sure they're going to look for a shorty and close this gap by 1, but I think they'd be just as happy if they came out of this major penalty unscathed and still give them lots of time to.
Well, absolutely. With 5 minutes left to go, they'd have lots of time to get one, and then lots can happen in the last few minutes. Pull your goalie. There's lots of dipsy doodling you can do. So we're far from over yet in game number 1. That's Graham McCrory. He still got the ball, just kind of killing time. Brantford not doing too aggressive of a job of trying to get the ball off, and they're happy to run out as much time as they can as well. So they're just going to kind of keep the ball to the outside on the perimeter.
McCrory seems to be their resident ragman here for Clarington. He's done a great job at that role this game.
He has. This is easily 2 minutes or more that he's done on this penalty kill himself. And he's still got the ball. Down he goes. Oh, big hit there.
So we are.
There we go.
Penalties coming our way, Wayne.
That's looks like 3 guys aside. There's that gamemanship we talked about, Mark. Some jarring with the fans, always in good fun. We're still waiting for things to get sorted out here. I see General Manager Les Nagy on the floor. trying to make sure that we got things sorted out. So we are going to move some fans out of the way, says referee Gibbons. He's already thrown out a Brantford fan. He's going to move some more. Just to recap, 10-8. Brantford gets off to an early 5-2 lead in the first period. Clarington storms back in the second period. They're able to go to the dressing room after 2, up 7-6. Brantford storms back in the third. It's really been a seesaw battle. What do we got to expect in the last 6-7 minutes of this one?
Well, it's game one. You're not going to put everything out on the floor, but you want to come out with the W regardless. I think maybe if I was a coach, I'd say, let's make sure we got a roster for next game, and let's manage our bench here and come out of this without too many suspensions.
Well, we're still waiting for the referees to be satisfied here. So referee Sutcliffe going over to general manager Les Nagy. He's wanting that whole side cleared out away from the Clarington bench. All right, we're back. We've got things sorted out off the floor. And we're back to live action here as referee Gibbons still over at the Brantford bench getting things sorted out. And again, it's all about safety for the teams and the players, especially when you're in a visiting barn. One as rowdy as it's been tonight in Brantford, Mark. It's really been a good atmosphere here in game one. And Clarington there on a break. Nagy able to make the stop.
Oh, rebound got by Clarington here. That's what they need. 4-on-4 action here for another 38 seconds. And then they'll be on the power play trying to get back into this game.
So with under 6 minutes to go, Brantford holding on to a 10-8 lead here on the break. This is where ball possession, Mark, is going to be key. They need to use every 30 second, maintain good shots, maintain possession, and just try to eat up as much of this clock as they can, holding a 2-goal lead.
Well, they won't be able. There's about a 4-second difference. They'll have to get a shot on net here.
There's a shot there.
Before they can rag the ball, and looks like they've done that and got a good scoring opportunity. Got to take that one by Arjun, I would agree. But now we're going to have some 5-on-4 lacrosse with Clarington trying to chip away at this 2-goal deficit here with just over 5 minutes left to go in the third period.
So Clarington still on the power play for 4 minutes now. So here's a great opportunity for them to climb back into this one with 2 goals. Good ball movement there by Brantford, but it looks like the 10 seconds are going to run out. Yes, sir, says referee Sutcliffe. It'll be Clarington ball with a fresh 30. We're at the 2-hour mark now, Mark, as this game's really taking its time moving along, making sure the referees have everything the way they want it, and they've done a great job tonight. Great atmosphere for game one. As we mentioned, game two going back. There's a goal by Clarington.
A nice shot from the top shooter's position by Clarington, trying to get a number on this one. But
I believe it's Matt Halliday, I think. Number 77. Clarington's climbed back into this one, only down 1 goal now at 10-9 with 4:30 to go in the third period. Face off here. We've talked about the ability of Brantford to win these key draws, and they almost had another one there. Aki done such a great job tonight getting that ball off the face-off for Brantford. He's going to go off, make room for the man short. Clarington getting their shooters on. They're on the power play. A little hidden ball trick there. We'll see where the ball ends up.
Good ball movement. Off the post.
He got behind Nagy. Wasn't sure where it was.
Braden McGregor trying to make some things happen from the left crease spot.
This is where the experience of Clarington is going to prove strong if they can get back at that tying goal.
William.
Big save by Nagy. He's really shown tonight that he deserves to be among the top goalie leaders in this league, which he's done all season long. Big save there again. Another quick stick. Clarington's really going to try to get Nagy moving, being a bigger goalie.
Loose ball here in the corner.
Picked up by
comes
Brantford.
up with it. Ty Argent in front.
Good check there. It would have been better if Argent had pulled it out and helped kill some of that clock. A little drag down there. Referee Sutcliffe says play on. Clarington, some good ball movement. Shot down low on Nagy. He's equal to the task. Back up top.
There's Braden McGregor with the ball. Trying to get out in front.
Shot wide.
They're all over him.
Looks like it's just a shooting gallery now as Clarington just throwing anything they can at Nagy. There's another shot wide. Clarington's going to get the rebound. 9 to go on the shot clock. Quick shot there. Got the reset he was looking for. Going to be Clarington ball.
2.5 minutes left here in the third period, Wayne.
1 minute to go in the power play. Still lots of time. Lots of lacrosse here. Big shot. That's 2 or 3 post mark on this power play alone. Going to be a full 30 here for Clarington. With 2 minutes to go in the period. And just under a minute to go in the power play. Another quick stick. I'm not sure if that was post or Nagy got that one, Mark, but beautiful touch and go passing there by the Shamrocks down low. Barely in the stick before they're moving it on. Big save by Nagy.
And William Carnduff with the ball up top again. Seems like he's had the ball in the stick a few times. Takes a shot.
You got to figure Brantford's got to get one of these loose balls. I mean, you give Clarington 20 to 25 shots in one possession. One of these is going to go in. No shot there. Time running out on the power play. We're going to be 5-on-5 here in about 5 seconds.
Score!
And that's a power play goal, Mark. And just like that, Clarington showed their composure. They've shown their maturity. And they've tied this game. We could have overtime. Lots of smiles out there. Both these teams are just happy to be here. Lots on the line. A lot of these guys will end their junior careers in this series. And these guys are just out here having fun, leaving it all on the floor. So kudos to both teams and both benches.
Key possession coming up here.
Aki wins it. He's won a good percentage tonight of the faceoffs. Very, very key. Just a matter whether Brantford can weather the storm with just over a minute to go in the opening game of this best-of-7 series. Here's a high shot. It's going to be picked up by Clarington, and they've called their 60-second timeout. So, Mark, as we mentioned earlier, the two referees tonight, referee John Sutcliffe and Phil Givens, done a great job of letting the guys play when they need to, but also calling those penalties that are safety oriented to really set a tone for the series. That we're all about the guys. These guys got to go to school or go to work tomorrow, and we're as hard as we want these guys to play. That we're going to put safety first. So good job to the referees tonight.
Oh, absolutely. They've done their job.
57 seconds left to go in the third period. Clarington has now used one of their 2 timeouts. If we go to overtime, they are allowed to use their second timeout in any one of the overtime periods. Should we have more than one, you're allowed 2 timeouts per game, only 1 per period. Brantford has 2 timeouts remaining. Referee Gibbons getting ready to blow it in here. 10-10 tie, game 1. Mark, this has been everything that this game was chalked up to be. Brantford coming out of the West, getting past Fergus in 5 games. Clarington steamrolling over the East, going undefeated in the playoffs. And these two, powerhouses from each division meeting, and we couldn't have asked for a better opening game tonight.
No, good pass. Looks the open man driving to the net. They got a big chance there. They score! 31 seconds left on the clock, and Clarington, 3 straight goals here, has now taken a 11-10 lead here in Game 1 of the Meredith Cup Finals.
A crushing change of momentum for the Brantford Warriors. Up 10-8 with about 3 to 4 minutes left to go. Take a 5-minute penalty, allowing Clarington to score 2 on that power play. And then even strength after the timeout. Clarington drew it up perfectly, able to cash in.
It's like Matt Halliday out in front of the net, got Nagy moving, had some open net, and
put it
behind the net.
So we now have 31.7 seconds to go in the third period. If Aki wins this faceoff, Mark, I bet my shorts that they're going to call a timeout, and they're going to draw up their own play. So the ball's still kicking around. No one has possession as of yet. Clarington looking to muck it, pick it up, kill it, whatever they can do. Clarington picks it up. And they're going to try and eat this and keep the ball out of the hands of Brantford. Brantford has to be careful. They got to remember.
Ball again. Pinched them up
there
against the boards.
With 5.2 seconds left on the clock, Brantford able to get possession and call a timeout to take a lead. 11-10 with 5 seconds to go in the third period.
Well, that's it. That's the difference in this game is the undisciplined play, and we talked about that. That's what's going to cost probably either one of these teams. And tonight it looks like it might cost Brampton that win. They had a 2-goal lead going into the late stages of the third, took a major penalty, and they find themselves down by 1 goal here now late in the late stages.
And you know what, Mark? I remember, earlier in the season, talking to the bench staff from Brantford. They've told their team time and time again, but at the end of the day, the coaches aren't on the floor. They can't be making these decisions for the players. It's up to the players to remain disciplined, and that's something that Brantford struggled with all year. And tonight's case in point where it's going to hurt them, and unless they can pull off the unthinkable here in 5 seconds.
Well, it's been that kind of a night, and they're going to look for an open guy, and they have their shot.
They got their play. And just like that, Clarington takes game 1. And we got some extracurricular going here, Mark.
Yep. Gibbons Sutcliffe trying to get in the middle and settle these guys down. They've got a full 7-game series here, so.
Yep. So we'll get this sorted out. These teams will go to their dressing rooms. Clarington takes a 1-0 lead, Mark, when really Brantford controlled the game for the first period. They really came back and controlled the game for the latter half of the third period. It was their game to lose, and undisciplined play, untimely penalties cost them. And they're going back to Clarington down 1-0.
Yeah, I'd say a solid team effort there by Clarington. It was what we probably expected out of them. Nobody really stood out. We said about Braden McGregor being the player to watch. They did a number on him tonight, not giving him much time and space. Other guys stepped right up and filled those roles and made some things happen.
And on the other end, we mentioned Ty Argent, at least 5 goals tonight for Brantford in their losing effort. He had a stellar game, as did Caleb Wells. Nagy stands on his head most of the game, and, just the Clarington Shamrocks power play right at the end, able to pull it off and secure the win. So we're going to head back to Clarington for Game 2 this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Myself and Mark Szyskowski will have the call. We'll be at the Garnet B. Rickard Arena for Game 2. Clarington takes a 1-0 lead, winning tonight's game 11-10.